Apple, are you kidding me? What the heck is this? You call this an update to the Apple Watch? The Apple Watch Series 7, this is more like the Apple Watch 6.1. How could you update an Apple Watch without a flat design? I was promised a flat design and now I don't have it. And this is seriously starting to piss me off how little you care about the average customer, Apple. You completely ripped us off by giving us a new Apple Watch this year with a bigger display.
All I wanted was flatter edges. What am I supposed to do? I already spent $400 in a Series 6. I'm not gonna go ahead and upgrade to the Apple Watch Series 7 this year with just these little incremental upgrades. It's ridiculous. Tim Cook, how dare you? How dare you release such a pathetic product? And who cares about other people who are on an Apple Watch Series 3 or an Apple Watch Series 2 who are planning to upgrade this year? You should have still just sold a Series 6. Why did you even bother making this Series 7 Apple Watch? I don't care about anyone else. All I care about are improvements and upgrades that are designed for me because I'm the most important person on planet Earth and no one else matters. You hear that?
No one else matters except this guy. This guy matters.
And if you're upgrading from a Series 3 to a Series 7, you're a fool. You should wait for the Apple Watch 8. You should wait for the Apple Watch 9 maybe because, the 8 might not even be that big of an upgrade. In fact, just wait for the Apple Watch 10 and then maybe we can finally get a good Apple Watch out of this. Hey, what's going on, everyone? Greg here. Sorry for the ridiculous intro, but I think it will serve a point as we start to talk a little bit in this video. Because out of everything that Apple announced at their September event, I think the most disappointing announcement for most people had to be the Apple Watch Series 7, and that mostly has to do with the insane amount of product leaks we saw for the Series 7 going into this event, which told us we were going to get a radical redesign of the watch with a new flat edge design, and those turned out to be like 110% wrong. Like extra wrong, because not only did the Series 7 not get a new flat design, it actually got an even more rounded design. So it felt like Apple was just straight up trolling us when they said that. But it's more than that, because I think despite the Series 7 not having new flat edges, which, let's be honest, it might have looked nice in the renders, but it really wouldn't have changed the way that we use our Apple Watch in any way. It was just a new design. So really, it would still have added nothing new and revolutionary to this Apple Watch if it did have flat edges. In fact, one could argue that the design upgrade we did get with the Series 7, the larger displays, are more important than any appearance change we could have gotten to the physical casing. But first, let's explore all the new features of the Series 7 because I think it's still a bit shocking how little Apple ended up changing here, and I think a lot of you watching this are wondering if you should even bother upgrading to this model, and I kind of want to address that. And I also want to address some other takes I've seen online, kind of like the ridiculous beginning part of this video, about how the Series 7 is so disappointing that Apple should have just still sold the Series 6 for another year, which I think is just the flat out wrong idea. But again, first let me cover what's new with the Series 7, and that does in fact start with design changes. Like I mentioned before, despite not having a total redesign, there's still some design changes here, and we haven't really seen any design updates since the Series 4. So first of all, the Apple Watch now comes in two new sizes, with a 41mm variant on the smaller end and a 45mm version on the largest end. Apple says that the borders on the Series 7 were reduced by 40%, which allows for 20% more screen area than the Series 6 and 50% more when you compare it against the older design like the Series 3. In fact, the Series 7 bezel shrunk so much that the screen slightly wraps around, which I think looks really nice in this image, and I'm not sure if this type of effect would have been possible with a flatter sided design. The bigger display also makes the watch more usable, and Apple is adding in some features they haven't attempted before, like a QWERTY keyboard, which will be the first time that Apple has natively put a keyboard on the Apple Watch. Apparently, you can even tap this keyboard to try and type out stuff, and also use the swipe method to type, which I think will end up being the better way to use this keyboard. And hopefully Apple is right that the machine learning algorithms they are using to fix some of the typos that you might get from typing on a small screen, hopefully that's accurate and the typing works, because it's a very small display. But the entire user interface for this Apple Watch and all of the apps have actually been redesigned to take advantage of the larger display. For example, Apple says that buttons like in the Calculator app are now bigger than they were on previous Apple Watch models, making them easier to tap. These new bigger watches also get some new watch faces, like the modular Max watch face, which displays digital time, one medium-sized complication, and then two big, large complications. You also get a continuum watch face, which shows the numbers directly against the edge of the Apple Watch, really showing off that new design. And you can also change that to a world time watch face, where that can show all 24 time zones at the same time. So I don't know, you can keep track of times in every country. The watch's display tech also is improving here. So the Series 7 will feature a brighter always-on display, which Apple says will see a 70% improvement in brightness when using the watch indoors. This is also, according to Apple, the most durable Apple Watch design yet. Obviously, we're gonna have to test that, but Apple is claiming that the front glass, or the crystal on the front of the display, is 50% thicker and twice as thick at its tallest point on the Series 7 compared to the Series 6, and that adds strength and durability. And again, the shape of that crystal has been redesigned as well to make it more resistant to cracks. It is also IP6X rated, meaning it is dust resistant and can be used in water up to 50 meters for swimming, just like the previous Apple Watch. The OLED display itself is now completely integrated into the touch sensor layer of the watch, which allows the display component to be thinner, and is in part the reason they could reduce the display thickness and borders around the watch to give us that bigger display. The Series 7 still comes in 3 case finishes, so on the lowest end, the $399 starting price point, that will get you the aluminum model. Then if you pay a little bit more, you'll get a stainless steel model, and then on the top, a titanium model. However, all of the colors on the aluminum model have been refreshed, with the new Starlight color replacing silver, the new Midnight color replacing space gray, a new lighter shade of blue, a brand new green color, which looks very cool to me and reminds me of like a military green or something that Master Chief would wear, and of course, a bright, vibrant product red color, which was also on the Series 6. So yes, the design isn't flat, but in terms of how the watch looks with those bigger displays and reduced bezels, I think the Series 7 obviously is the best looking Apple Watch yet. But we spent so much time talking about the design and the better durability, we really haven't discussed any of the new groundbreaking features, and that's because there kind of aren't any. Well, except for one feature, I guess, which is now that the Apple Watch can charge faster, so Apple says it can now charge 33% faster than the Series 6. Apple claims you can charge the Series 7 from 0 to 80% in just 45 minutes, and charging it for 8 minutes can provide up to 8 hours of sleep tracking. So I guess that will be useful for people who use the Apple Watch to track their sleep, or for people who forgot to charge it the night before and they can only charge it for like 30 minutes at the start of the day. Well, then this faster charging will probably be a useful feature. The Series 7 will also come with a new USB-C to Apple Watch charger, where previous versions of the Apple Watch shipped with an Apple Watch charger with a USB-A connector, so it looks like, at least for plugging into power bricks, Apple is all in on USB-C, even if the iPhone 13 still has a Lightning port. But believe me when I say, that's it. That really is the only new internal feature to the Series 7. There's no new S7 chip with faster performance. It still uses the same S6 chip despite being named the S7 chip. No new health features, no new material finishes, no new speakers, no more storage add-ons, still 32 gigabytes. And yeah, that's basically leading people to believe that the Series 7 is one of the smallest Apple Watch updates yet. And it kind of is, but does that really matter? Now yes, I am an Apple Watch fan. I've detailed my use of the Apple Watch pretty regularly on this channel, and I think it has personally been one of the most impactful products that Apple has ever released, and I fully plan on buying a Series 7 to review for the channel despite the small amount of added features. Maybe if I didn't have a tech YouTube channel, I wouldn't buy the Series 7, but I really do like the Apple Watch enough where I think I would still probably upgrade every year just because I'm such a big fan of it. But I do want to slightly defend the Apple Watch here, because when we think about year-over-year upgrades for the watch, I'm not sure we should be expecting something new or revolutionary every year. Sure, when there's a new health sensor like the ECG, fall detection, or to a lesser extent the blood oxygen sensor we got last year, that is exciting because these sensors can actually save people's lives. And the health and fitness features on the Apple Watch are one of the most exciting areas of personal tech. But when it comes to other advances, and I don't mean to say this like, there's nothing new ever going to come out for the Apple Watch, but it is really hard to imagine what other features Apple can add here to make this a better watch. Sure, we all love speed improvements, but for people who own a Series 6, does the Series 6 ever feel slow to you? I mean, the Series 6 has been really speedy. And the days of painfully slow Apple Watches are a thing of the past. It's also still the best watch on the market with virtually zero competition, and the competition is still so far behind on offering a competent Apple Watch alternative. In a lot of ways, we should stop thinking about the Apple Watch as a revolutionary device that's going to get upgraded every year with groundbreaking changes, because it really hasn't been for the past couple of years. Think about the Series 4 to the Series 5. That really only featured a new always-on display and a compass, so that also was a pretty small update. And it's not like the early days of the iPhone. This is now the 7th generation of the Apple Watch, and the product, quite frankly, has matured. In a lot of ways, I think you shouldn't compare the Apple Watch to the iPhone. In terms of upgrades, I think you should compare it more to like an iPod in terms of upgrades. The iPod had a lot of different form factors and designs, but the features and functionality year over year for the iPod really didn't change all too much, especially in the later years. And while it might not be exciting, it can also be viewed as a good thing, because it means that you don't have to go out and upgrade your Apple Watch every year. Don't forget, this is an accessory to the iPhone, not its own independent product yet. So the idea that Apple would make new features and have you upgrade this thing every single year is quite frankly a little bit ridiculous. And I've seen so many people complain that there's no reason to upgrade from a Series 6 or a Series 5 Apple Watch to a new Series 7, and I think that's a good problem to have. At the same time, Apple shouldn't just sell the Series 6 for another year without offering any upgrades to the watch. I don't want a MacBook Pro situation for the Apple Watch where we have to wait and wonder for 2 years of when we're going to get an update. I would rather have small updates like the Series 7 every year to ensure that whenever you're ready to buy or upgrade to a new Apple Watch, you're at least getting the latest and greatest of what Apple has to offer, even if those improvements just boil down to a bigger display and a more durable Apple Watch body, which, hey, let's face it, those are nice improvements even if they're not groundbreaking or revolutionary. So yes, if you have the Series 6 or the Series 5 or maybe the Series 4, maybe you shouldn't run out and upgrade to this incremental Series 7 upgrade. But if you're still on a Series 3 or older, or even a Series 4, and wanted some of the new tech that previous Apple Watch models have to offer, well, now you get some nice additional upgrades for the Series 7 at the same price at the Series 6. It's not like Apple increased the price for the Series 7 here. So yeah, maybe this Apple Watch Series 7 wasn't made for you, but let's at least acknowledge that some people are going to be getting a better Apple Watch at the same price this year, and that is better than the alternative of having to wait 2 years for some mysterious update. But hey, that's just my take on all of this, and it's just my opinion, so let's have a discussion in the comments below. Let's keep it civil, and let me know, were you disappointed in the Series 7? What features did you want to see on it that, didn't make it? And what do you think of the design? Do you like this design on the Series 7, or would you have preferred the flatter renders we saw leaked earlier this year? As always, if you like this video and agree with me, well, show your support by leaving a like. If you want to see more from the channel, make sure you're subscribed. because we still don't actually know when the Series 7 is going to be released, except for, Apple cryptically telling us sometime this fall. So I'll be sure to update you on when we actually get a release date for this thing, and then I'll release my buyer's guide for it. And as always, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all in the next video, which is going to be soon, because I got more to work on. So take care, everyone, and wish me luck.